That was a long walk. I didn't want to walk that way. Y'all don't mind the hair. My mama did it.
Marquez, how happy were you for Tyler Bird to see him score that touchdown lane?
Oh man, we was so pumped on the sideline. I think if y'all would have got a shot on us on the sideline, y'all would have been more happy for us than for him. But we always, we always make, I wouldn't say bets, but we always talk about, scoring and what our celebration was going to be. And if you saw it, Bird did a little celebration, and that's what made us even more hyped on the sideline.
Is that a pretty good lesson about somebody sticking with the program?
I think so. Previously, Bird said, he was a special teams player, and that's what he sees himself as. But, we try to tell him you're not just on special teams, because he also plays back up to Juwan. He also really sub in for any of us. So, and this game was one of the ones that you can actually see that happening. And I know he was happy, his family was happy, but we was definitely more happy for him.
Have you seen positive signs from him as a receiver during practice?
Yeah, all the time. Like I said, he came in. He played a lot his freshman year as a receiver, and that didn't go nowhere. He still has a lot of playing time at receiver, and I just think this game actually showed it.
Marquez, do you think it makes a difference going into this week, coming off a win against Mississippi State?
Yes, sir. I think it was a big momentum boost. I think we really needed the win, and we went out there and got the win. So leading into Bama week, especially playing the team from the West, I think we'll be more energized to go out there and play.
When you look at Alabama, what sticks out on tape that you've seen so far?
I mean, Alabama's Alabama. They have good offense, good defense, special teams. So I don't really know the game plan right now, but when we get in the game plan, we're going to try to execute to the best we can.
Is there excitement playing the number one team in the country, seeing how your game stacks up against that?
Yeah, I mean, that's why you come to SC, to play top-ranked teams, to build yourself better, not as just a person, but as a player, and who else to do that on the number one stage.
How do you describe the season so far?
I mean, it's not how we expected it to turn out to be, but I mean, just, try to keep going, try not to look back at it. We did some things, a couple plays. I mean, really, if you look at it, we're just a couple plays from, starting off better than what we did, but we take it as a lesson, and we try not to make them going any further into the season.
What are the lessons you've learned about your team through the first 6 games?
We have to be a more complete team. Can't just play for half the game or a quarter, 2 quarters. We have to be more prepared, and that comes from practice, being more focused and prepared at practice so that we play a full game.
How much have the coaches talked about the second half issues through the first half of the season?
A lot really. Especially after Georgia, coach said we needed to play more than what we did because we didn't go out there. We have to believe in ourselves more than what we have been, because we're not a bad team. We're actually a great team. We just, things ain't been turning our way, but we stick to the schedule and everything will work out.
What kind of difference is having T. Martin on the sideline for you guys?
That was the first game Coach Martin was on the sideline, and when we found out, we was like, "What? You're on the sideline?" Like, wow, things really changed, huh? So we gave him a little junk about that, but I think he enjoyed being on the sideline, so be with us.
Do you think it helped the young receivers, especially just because a lot of them got some early playing time in that game?
I think so. A lot of guys look up to Coach C, not just because of what he's done, but just because of who he is. His family's great, his kids are great. They come there all the time to see us. So once you know what a coach is for you, that's when you start playing harder.
Not to downplay Jarrett, but when you look at what Brian's done in the past couple of starts, have you seen, the offense feed off of his energy that he's been coming in with?
Mm-hmm. A lot of the players, a lot of guys like them both. They wish that both of them could play, but obviously it's only one starting job. So whoever it is, we're always going to be behind whoever it is. For Brian, he's young. He still has a lot to learn, but we're always behind him. We tell him, things like what we see on the field, and then when he comes to sideline, Jared tells him, what coverage they was in, things like that. And opposite way around, Jared, being a little older, a little more experienced, he kind of knows what's going on, but still, Brian does the same thing. He tells him what he sees on the sideline. We tell him what we see on the field as receivers. So basically, just whoever's in there, we're gonna try to make the best for him.
You talked about Brian kind of learning some lessons. That first interception on Saturday looked like they kind of baited him into that interception ends up when he threw it to Juwan. I guess you were open. What did you tell Brian? You tell him that he's got to read that better? Or kind of what did you say? Same after that play.
Coaches, when he went over there, Coach was the first one to go to him. Then Jarrett was the second one right behind him. And then after they got through talking, we told him, I told him he baited me because when I ran my hitch, he backed off me. That's what I told him. And he said he was going to look out for it more. But I think Coach and Jarrett had that taken care of.
When Brian's running and just selling out his body and flipped over on his head and stuff like that, what do you guys think as teammates?
Well, I was running down the field, so when I turned around, I just saw him flipping over, and I didn't really think anything of it because he stayed down and he popped right up, so I didn't really think anything of it. And then he came out the game, and I didn't really realize it until we got to the sideline. They was like, he got a concussion. I was like, concussion from that hit? So I didn't really think of it on the field playing, but when we seen the tape, I was like, yeah, that probably was a concussion hit. So
Do you feed off that, like carefree, fearless, attitude that he has?
yeah, I do, but you also gotta play smart. You can't just go out there, running, diving head first into defenders because you're gonna hurt yourself more and then the team as a whole. So I'd rather you take what you can to get down rather than try to be a superhero and try to sell your body for the game.
After Brian fell on his head